Clapton signature guitar. It's a pretty nice guitar. It's a little bit different than the black one that I used to have. It is definitely cream in color. Now, I don't know if they refer to this. Somebody brought this up in the comments section that it's called Arctic White. I honestly don't know. I'm not overly familiar with this, but this is definitely yellowy in color. So I would say to my eye, this color is cream. But if it's referred to as Arctic White, then I'll accept that. A few of you mentioned that this is the Scamcast. No, this is not the Scamcaster. No, that guitar is long gone. We sold that shit for parts. For less than $100. Anyway. It's really nice. Like, it's got, the neck's got a real thin coat of lacquer on it. You can actually see the sticker that they've put on it from the factory. So I must admit, there are a few, like, this is a little bit different from mine in a couple of ways. My one actually said Blackie on it. Now, I don't know if that was because it was the black model of this guitar and these ones don't say that on it. Honestly, I don't know. But that's what my one said. So if I referred to this as Blackie in my last video, it's only because I owned one of these and it said Blackie on it, and my one was black. And honestly, I'd have to go back and look through my pictures to see what the serial number said on the back. Like, what any of this said on the back. I'm sure I have pictures of it. But this looks like, to me, like it would be a 2014 model. So maybe they've changed these a little bit. And I have to admit, because a couple of people made comments about this being fake, or rather looking fake, I did pop it open and I was like, is it fake? No, it's not fake. Come on, don't tell me we got another fake one. This can't be fake. The case looks way too legit. You know what I mean? Like, this all looks way too legit. So, no, I don't think this is a fake. And I'll tell you why I don't think it's a fake. It plays really well. It sounds exactly like my old one. The controls work the same way. And here was one of the clues that led me to... Like, this was one of the little quick checks that I did. I'm having the best Father's Day of all. My wife and kids are out. Now, that is a stay-home dad talk. That is a dad who probably spends more time with his kids than most dads do. Alright, so I don't really have to do a lot more taking apart of this guitar than pretty much this. This, to me, confirmed that this was legit. Now, the other thing that is a little bit different from this one, too, is when I got it, it had a tremolo arm on it, and I was like, well, wait a second, aren't these all blocked from the factory? So, I don't know, maybe some of these come unblocked from the factory. But my one was definitely blocked, and it didn't even... Maybe it had a tremolo arm. Yeah, there was a tremolo arm included in the stuff with it. So, the thing that I would be looking for to tell me if this was a fake guitar, particularly on an Eric Clapton signature guitar, is this. Does that look factory? And yep, sure as shit does, kids. That's factory. This is a legit Fender. I didn't need to look in here to tell me that, but seeing that tells me, yeah, this is legit. I was expecting to see a block, but like I said, maybe the previous owner's taken it out. Like, my one was factory blocked, and I just never touched it. But anyway, yeah. So this is pretty nice guitar, I must say. So let me just shut the camera off here, we'll put it back together, and we'll look at it some more. Alright, now that that's all back together... One of the notable things for me about the Eric Clapton Strat, of course, is, well, what makes this a signature Eric Clapton Strat? Well, first of all, really, really, really vintage frets. Frets that look like they're just about nearly ready for a swap out. These are really, really, really close to the fingerboard. And depending on your playing style, you know, certainly if you're used to tall jumbo frets, you'll hate this. You'll find this guitar annoying as hell to play. Just in the same way that, oh, what? Focus in the foreground here. I'm over here. So, yeah, these vintage frets, these are really, really shallow. Like, if you like tall frets, you would hate this guitar just in very much the same way that I cannot stand to play jumbo frets. But really, what makes this different from a sort of a standard USA Strat? Not a lot. Not a lot, I'm afraid. I mean, these vintage tuners are pretty awesome. I certainly prefer these on a Strat. I just like the way they operate better. I like that you drop the thing in the middle. These are just really easy to use. So I personally prefer these over standard Strat tuners. And I also find they work a bit better. It's got really low action around the nut. Like, that's the way this stuff comes up, set up from the factory. The action is really, really low from the factory. But apart from that, I mean, it's just a pretty standard Strat. You know, and certainly, like, I don't know. Personally, I think this is bullshit. I think if you're paying this kind of money for a Strat, I know why they put them on there, for the vintage feel, but this is bullshit. Like, when are we going to get to a point where you're paying justified money for something because it's got really good quality components on it, and not just because, you know, a really awesome guitar player has decided to license it? Like, that's bullshit. I know they're replicating his guitar. Yes, I get that. I'm not a retard. But the money you pay for this, like, over and above what you'd pay for a standard Strat, like, really what makes this guitar different? It's the electronics. It's that stupid mid-boost gain. And if I'm honest, this is bullshit. This whole mid-boost gain thing here is bullshit. This fucking thing this is just something one guy likes. This is just, like, a bit of control that Eric Clapton likes to have rather than having a pedal. That's what I think. Because I think that you could have a gain pedal that would achieve this. And I think that essentially he's just bypassed having a pedal in his pedal lineup, even if he even uses a pedal lineup. Right? So I think this is a bit bullshit. I don't really think this does much of a good thing for the tone. I was always looking for how to turn my one off. Like, I always had my one completely turned off. I hated it. It was part of the reason I got rid of it. I just didn't like the tone of the guitar, if I'm honest. But you know what? Here's the thing. Eric Clapton is like a million years old, and he's about to die. And I'm really curious if these things are going to go up in value. You would have to reckon that they would. But the ones that are out there after he dies, especially if they're in good shape and they got papers and stuff like that, like, I wonder if these are going to appreciate in value. Eh? They must. They must be bound for that. But yeah, it's a pretty simple looking Strat. I mean, apart from the electronics, I have to be honest, I don't like, if you're looking at this from a logical standpoint, which none of us guitar players do, right? You're really literally buying this guitar because you like Eric Clapton. That's what you're doing. You're buying this, you're being sucked into buying this because you like Eric Clapton. If you are the kind of person who's gone out and spent money on this. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that's really all you're paying for. I really think that if I was going to pay all this money, like, I want the custom shop one, right? I want the one with the really nice stuff. The one that's the one that has the stuff Eric Clapton really has on his guitar. Right? Make me an exact replica of his real guitar. And I don't think this is an exact replica of his real guitar. The one that he actually plays. Right? Do you think? I mean, are there any... I have to admit, I'm not a huge Eric Clapton fan. I like some Eric Clapton stuff, but I'm not like... I don't live and die for Eric Clapton. I mean, I love some of his guitar playing stuff. I'm not a real big fan of his music. But as a guitar player, I have all the respect in the world for him. But yeah, I don't know. So you all heard a little clip of it the other day. I don't think I'm gonna get up to playing this thing too much here. It's pretty fun to play, and about the only thing I can say about this guitar, apart from the fact that, to me, I think artist guitars in general that you pay a premium for, like if you're gonna buy an artist guitar, they should really throw everything at it. They should make these identical replicas. Like if I'm buying a signature guitar, it shouldn't be just sort of what Eric Clapton has, because I'm certain this is not what he's playing. This is not an exact replica of what Eric Clapton is playing. In no way. You know what I mean? It's I would say closer to that, closer to what that is achieving than being a straight out duplicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks a lot like the real thing, and it's really damn close, and they're charging you a premium for it, but if you're gonna release an artist guitar, like, literally make it an exact duplicate, is what I would, duplicate. You know, like, make it an exact duplicate is what I would want as a fan. If I was buying a replica guitar because I lived and died by a certain guitar player, I would want it to be exactly the same, right? I want it to be exactly the same in every single detail. And I can almost assure you that this is not. That this is not the same in every exact same detail. That it's pretty damn close, but it's not exactly the way his one would be. Anyway, maybe I'm full of shit. You guys let me know what you think.